Before the questions, I think there's one goal that just about every human being has, in dealing in a world today that is so chaotic, and especially the internal worlds of people. People are looking for some kind of inner peace, some way of living in the world where they can truly feel that they're, Isabel, dear, can you try and sit still and just for another 10 minutes, okay? Thank you. Uh, so they can live every day with this deep sense of their own self-worth, who they are as a human being, that quiet inside them, that ability to retreat into that quiet and away from the chaos of a world, the kind of world we live in today. That's only possible, at least to my understanding. People need to learn how to do that. I keep talking about this over and over again. Meditation is not religion. It's not a cult. It's nothing of that nature. It is simply a craft that any human being can learn in order to build a system inside themselves that can live in a state of inner peace. They can be Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, Jewish. It can be agnostic. They could be atheist. It doesn't matter. Every single human being is alive, living in this world, and every single human being has to deal with one factor every day: tension. And learning how to truly master the internal chaos is an important effort. We have to get training to do just about anything in life. And we never think in terms of ourselves. How do we build a system inside that is strong enough to deal with us, to live with that inner peace, that quiet, that lack of insecurity, that ability to truly deal with even the most difficult of situations, being grounded, having a foundation inside, and having the training inside that enables us to function here on the highest level of what it means to be human. This is what meditation is for. I'm not here to teach religion. I'd be the first one to leave if I was teaching religion. I'm not here to teach, anything of that nature. Basically, I have learned this amazing technique that is applicable to any single human being that wants to learn it. And what this thing will teach them how to live and be at peace with themselves, how to not be sucked into all the insane drama that goes on in the objective world, politics, the economics, the relationship situations, all of this stuff that we have to deal with if we're going to be living here. And somehow, and for some reason, we have chosen coming to this place to work out our karma. And what does it mean to work out our karma? We have to learn how to live and be at peace with ourselves. We have to learn how to live with an open heart, with love, with joy, kindness, compassion for other people, and the fact that everybody on this planet suffers in one way or another. All of this is what it amounts to: learning how to function here like a human being. And that's all this meditation is about. And if people learn how to do this, I've said it many times, I am not concerned about spiritual enlightenment. Learn how to be human, and enlightenment is a snap. There are thousands of gods and God, they're all up in the cosmos. Ain't they looking for people that have finally learned how to function here like human beings? And they will. Next step is a oneness with God, a oneness with higher energy in the universe, freedom from karma, freedom from suffering, from all the pain and situations that go on on the earth. And yet we have chosen to be born here. And making that choice means that we have to learn how to transform what we have to deal with in this place into openness and into, a sense of us, you know, functioning here on the highest levels of what it means to be human. We have to have patience and forgiveness and all of these terms that, I've heard since I'm 4 years old, have patience, be kind, love your neighbor, love your, I mean, it's almost like it's all trite. And yet every single one of them is real and part of what we come here to learn. How are we going to learn it? We have to learn how to transform ourselves. We have to learn how to build a system inside that can do this. Otherwise, we're at play, a book, at play in the fields of the Lord, That's what we are. And what we have to deal with every day is our own incapacity to transform the difficulty, the suffering, the pain, the struggle of life into probably the most important thing a human being to learn, how to live with an open heart. And, look, if I teach anything, it's this. I'm not here to give you an education in religion. I'm not here to give you an education in philosophy and theosophy and all the other philosophies. I mean, I have learned this amazing thing from Rudy, and I have dedicated my life to trying to pass this on to other people. Does anyone have a question they would like? And it's like a two-way street, you understand? I can't do it for you. Rudy couldn't do it for me. All he could do was show me the path. Then I had to deal with Stuart. And each and every one of us has to deal with the one person we live with 24 hours a day, ourselves. But we learn these techniques of how to master the chaos inside ourselves. That's what I'm here to do, to teach you that technique, to transmit this Shakti, this energy, to be a channel for higher energy, and to nurture that chakra system inside every single person, so they can develop the capacity to literally learn how to be at peace with themselves. I mean, it's a kind of an interesting job to be able to do this. I mean, I get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of being a servant of higher energy and not being a servant of my ego, not ever imposing on other people what I want, but serving a higher energy and having to surrender the ego and having to let go of my will and what I think is right or wrong. And who knows what's right or wrong anymore? You know, uh, what's right at one moment can be completely wrong 10 minutes later. And that's true. You find the answer in one, and then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, it doesn't work anymore. What's real is connecting with spirit and becoming, a person who is capable of developing a system inside that learns humility, that learns love, that learns how to be patient with other people's bullshit. To pardon my Bronxese. I mean, all other people are is an opportunity for us to learn about ourselves and to grow. And when people come on with all this nonsense about what's right and their opinion, listen to them. Maybe there's something there you can learn instead of fighting with them. You can learn about yourself the first thing you're going to learn is patience. Patience. How not to get upset at somebody because they're upset. Does anyone have a question? And the wonderment of this class is, look, there are people here from Europe, from South America, from the Middle East, and it's just transmission of energy, Shakti. And it doesn't matter what language you speak, what race you are, what religion you are, it doesn't matter. The transmission of that Shakti will heal a person within themselves. All people need to learn how to do is to develop a system that can take it in, that allows the Shakti, the energy, to work for them. That's what meditation should be about. I mean, it isn't about it too much. I read an article about meditation yesterday, and I could have gotten very upset reading that article, but I said, no, this is what people are ready for. So I don't get upset. This is what they're ready for. And not everybody in the world is ready for what I teach here, thank God. Imagine if 8 billion people showed up on the screen. Serious problem. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, hi.
Yes.
I'm going to go a little bit technical here. While meditating, I'm noticing, first of all, I'm noticing patterns with myself in relationship to work and solving problems for sure. And that has been helpful. But like today, I've noticed that a part of me wants to get something out of the meditation while I'm meditating. Um, it's kind of a part of me that wants to control, or I don't know. I'm sort of just wanting to expose a part of me to you right now, I think.
Well, Leo, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get something out of the meditation. Understand? But if you try to control it with your will, if you try to put it in some kind of box or compound that you control and you are the master, it's not going to work. It works because you let go. You surrender the need to control. You surrender the need to be more important than everybody else. And you allow yourself to be nurtured by a higher force of energy in the universe. That energy will build you and give you a strength inside that you never could dream you'd ever have. It'll give you the capacity to be able to deal with all of the stuff you have to deal in life. And instead of having to control it, you just allow it to be your teacher. You allow yourself to learn about yourself and without having to control it, because once you control it, you put it in a little box and there's just so much you can learn. If you open and give it the freedom to truly, nurture you inside, the amount of knowledge and wisdom that you will receive is beyond all human comprehension. And having to control is just part of habits that we build up from an early part of our lives. We're taught to control. The society teaches us that, our parents teach us that, and only because it really doesn't know anything else. It doesn't know it. So we have to find a way of dealing with a society like that, dealing with parents and children and relatives and friends and schoolmates and et cetera, and letting them be and not having to control what they say or what we say. And also at the same time, have an inner strength that allows people to know, that they can't trespass. they can't take advantage of you and dictate what's right or wrong in your life because you have grounding, your heart is open, your mind is quiet, you have a power inside yourself that another human being will feel. And people will stop trying to intimidate you that way. And it often will cause them to change. They will change. They will approach you differently because of that Shakti, that energy, that power that is being transmitted from you. Or in your ordinary everyday life, not just in a meditation class, but in your everyday life. So, yes, you can expect to receive something, but you're not going to be able to receive the essence of it unless you build a system inside that is strong enough to let go of all the things you want to control. And then it becomes this energy force that begins to guide your life. And in order to be a vehicle for that energy, you have to be really strong inside. You have to have incredible foundation, great rootedness. You have to be connected with spirit. You have to have the capacity to deal with your karma in your life every day. This requires enormous inner strength. This is what development of chakras builds, that kind of inner strength. And you don't have to control anything. That energy guides your life. It teaches you how to make real decisions every day. And the one person you overcome, which is the most essential person of all, is yourself. You get free of you. You get free of you, the 95% of the battle right there. I hope that's clear. To me, this is the greatest struggle on the earth, getting free from oneself. And nobody, I don't care who you are, is ever going to understand this intellectually. It's a process of doing it, building the system that this change happens organically. The way you see the world is you go through an organic change in how different life becomes because you have changed inside yourself. So what we want out of this class is Shakti, energy. But you can't get that if you're just sitting there on your ass and you're not working on inside yourself to build a system that's strong enough to receive it. And it's like that famous kid in Texas once told me, yeah, but if you ate the hamburger in one bite, you would die on the spot. If you ate the Shakti in one bite, it would burn you alive. It's so powerful. But you can nibble at it, digest it, take it in slowly, slowly. Each class, you take a little bit more. You take a little bit more, not having to be perfect, but just nibble. I mean, you're like an infant at his or her mother's breast. You know, they're not going to drink a quart of milk. They've got to take a little bit at a time. And the universe is like a big breast. It's a big nipple. We have to take a little bit at a time and digest it and get stronger. And the child grows up. I hope that's clear. I don't know how to make it clearer, but anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? Great question. Okay, if there are no more questions, there will be class tomorrow evening at 7:30 and this coming Thursday at the same time. And also in the evening. So God bless you all. Thank you. I keep saying this, you're probably tired of hearing it, but I am very grateful for each and every one of you. This class is an opportunity for not only you to grow, but for me to grow as well. I need to grow. I can't accept any kind of stagnation or mediocrity or any level of life. So thank you. Thank you. And God bless you all. You'll have a wonderful evening and day, and wherever you are in the world, enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Oh, thank you so much, Stuart.